Llegó el momento de un combate global.
Ready, fight. ¡Oh! ¡Cuidado! ¡Ir castigando! ¡Oh! Y en la mano derecha le sacudió la neurona.
Pasó.
We are in Miami for another cracking Combate Global card featuring female fighters on our main card. 3 big fights, and that'll continue here in the preliminaries. We have a new mat inside the jaula. And dotting all the Latin American capitals there, we are global. It won't stay all that blue for too long. It will have it will change here as we get all the action. We are excited with what lies ahead here in this latest card, and we will have fights every Friday, so check your local listings wherever you're watching all over the world. We're gonna have a kickoff that will go through the summer, back end of the year with the Copa. There will be tournaments and new stars will be unfurled. We'll have rankings coming out soon. We'll have championships. Such an exciting year. And you could say you were here from the beginning. This is the main card. Claudia Diaz versus Manuela Marconetto. Spain versus Italy, and a warm welcome to all those tuning in Spain, as well as France. 18-year-old Irlanda, Galindo, and Anna Summers, and Blanca Marquez will take on Flor, Chavez. That's up ahead. It's about an hour or so away. We will have some fights for you coming your way right now. So get comfortably, as we'll start it off with a bantamweight fight here on Paramount as well, with Rick "Slick" Zelada taking on Ismael "Kraken" Zamora. This is a big-time division in Combate. Rick "Slick" Zelada looking to remain unbeaten against the very crafty Kraken. We're getting ready for all the action. And the man inside the jaula, Lupe Contreras. 5 big fights coming your way, and it starts right now. Max Bretos and Rodolfo Roman will be calling all the fights. We'll have little Campbell McLaren. He's on his way to the jaula to check out all the action and give his sign of approval if needs be, as Rick "Slick" Zelada making his way into the jaula. And he'll be the first with the new mat.
Coming into the sounds of Tupac,
He's
little
very-
California love.
He's very proud of his California roots. And there he is, fighting out of North Hollywood, and we know that that is a really good gym that he is able to participate in. 2-0, looking to go 3-0 here in Combate.
Yeah, trained at the Sikh Muay Thai and the Black House MMA. He's gonna definitely bring a lot of action. See a lot of his jiu-jitsu skill. He started at a very young age in his life. He's gonna put this up to play, but great hand skills too as well, so should be a fun one to kick off this fight card.
Now his opponent, Ismael Zamora, to come into the jaula.
Rick's getting ready. Zamora.
This is Zamora, 3rd fight here in his MMA career. Trains with Bone Breakers. It's a gym you'll hear a lot about tonight with the likes of Eric Peri Montaño and Daniel Cazador Salas. Started in Taekwondo at age 7, looking to build on it. We know he can hit.
Oh, absolutely. He surely can hit. And as you mentioned, he trains with the likes of the Meli Martinezes, the David Martinezes, who are all full of gold. And of course, Eric Peri Montaño. He loves to give liver kicks. As you know, if you hit one in the liver, that's all she wrote. And perhaps we might see one here this evening. But he has a great battle here tonight inside La Hala between these men. United States versus Mexico.
Let's go. And there is Zamora, who we last saw in October, lost via split decision, fighting out of Mexico City, as we go to the head-to-head. And 2 young fighters, as Zamora just getting started at 21, 2-inch height advantage for Zelada. We will be in the bantamweight division, and 1 inch via the reach for Slick Rick. We're ready for our first fight. Let's go inside the jaula. Lupe Contreras.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. 3 vueltas, división peso gallo. We continue with much more action. 3 rounds in the bantamweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Ricardo Celis, Byron Sellers y Richard Green. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, vestido de azul, introducing the blue corner, wearing blue. Su peso oficial, 134 libras y media, his official weight, 134.5 pounds. Entra por tercera ocasión a la jaula, invicto en 2 combates. He enters la jaula for the 3rd time as a pro, with an undefeated record of 2 victories. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, Slick Rick Zelada. Su contrario en la esquina roja, vestido de rojo, his opponent in the red corner, wearing red. Detuvo la báscula, un peso oficial de 135 libras y media. He tipped the scales at an official 135.5 pounds. En su tercer combate, con una victoria y una derrota, he too enters for the 3rd time as a pro with 1 victory and 1 defeat. De la Ciudad de México, DF, Ismael Kraken Zamora. El referee, Alana Vélez.
Alana Vélez, the 3rd inside the jaula.
Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch him up, go ahead. Come out fighting.
Great shot from above of the new mat. Kraken
Judge.
versus Slick. Got the coiffed hair looking good. Important fight for 2 young fighters looking to build a platform for the rest of the year. We are underway. And it is USA versus Mexico, but as you can see with Slick Rick, he came out with the Guatemalan and an El Salvadorian flag.
Funny, he mentioned, he said, hey, is there a way we can fit all 3 countries in there somehow?
He did, he found a way.
He found a way to do it now. There's going to be a lot of exchanges over here from the get-go, but I wouldn't be surprised if Rick Slick goes to the ground where it's pretty much his bread and butter, where he feels very comfortable competing in jiu-jitsu at a very young age.
Zelada in blue.
You know, back then it used to be karate, right? When you were a kid, you would start 4 years old karate. Now people are starting jiu-jitsu and now mixed martial arts because they're now classes. Back then it was hard to find them.
Sure is. Now they are ubiquitous. As we see Rick Zelada, we have seen him twice in Combate. Recently, December of last year, he beat Gustavo Navarrete, the Ecuadorian sensation. And Kraken Zamora also has a win over Navarrete. Prior to that, in July, he beat Justin Arteaga, speaking of Zelada. Both fights, unanimous decisions.
Yeah, Ismael was using that front kick to push away Zelada. Zelada was coming in. Seemed like Ismael was a little bit more frustrated. That's why he kept on pushing him away. And now, of course, we're in the clinch. They're trying to slow the pace of the bout. Put the pressure here from Ismael around on the cage. Zelada breaking it in. He wants it right smack in the middle of La Jaula. He wants to trade and bang.
Zelada is a good stand-up fighter. In those 2 fights that we were able to cover, he kept it on the feet. Although nice combinations from Zamora. And again, big right hand. Into the stomach. Finding the range. Again, left hand.
Yeah, when he throws this combination, he has to quickly put those hands up. He's leaving himself open.
And it's making Rodolfo is making Zelada a little uncomfortable as he can't find the range, but Zamora is.
And notice, Ismael worked the body. He was working towards the lower side area. Not take your air out. You'll see every now and then the fighters, they'll put up on social media how they train their abs. And you'll have these, if you're a lightweight or a flyweight, you have these heavyweights kicking you on your abs to strengthen the area. But you can train that all you want in a fight. It will take out your air. It will do some damage. He tried to go there for a judo throw. That didn't work out for him.
Well, it was worth a sniff there as they're into the clinch here and then an underhook. Zelada.
There we go.
First
that's
time
his
to the
bread and
ground.
butter. Yep, that's where Zelada likes it. Look for him to look for a potential submission. Look at he's holding on to that left wrist. But watch out with the up kick.
Ooh, 2 heel kicks. Those caught him, but not square. And now he goes into some side control. That's the He's got the scale
Watch the
tattoo on
very
his
top
back.
of the head, Mohawk, Ismael. Mohawk, you can't hit in that area.
And a warning from Alan Abeles for Zamora, for he's not going to bring that elbow down while he's on his back.
Here working it, but look at Ismael. Look at how he's situating his legs, wrapping around his wrist or his torso. Zelada again trying to find an opportunity. Look how he grabs a leg. Now he got side control back. Right back where it started.
And it will be into the guard.
Keep working, Rick.
A butterfly guard there by Zamora, who looked much better on his feet since he's been on the ground. Zelada has an edge. And again, Zelada is a very accomplished stand-up fighter. Again, those heel kicks, gotta be careful. If one of them catch Zelada on that bony part of the heel, it could be lights out.
Yeah, very difficult for Zelada. And now he throws his elbow, but then he goes back.
Big left by Zamora. He's got to stay on his feet here, Rodolfo. He is looking sharp.
He is looking really good. And now the
Armbar. Triangle.
change of pace now. Ismael now with the jiu-jitsu. And as you can see, the corner of their body, head to soften him up. But look as he's trying to wrap his legs around, perhaps maybe a triangle choke. Look how he positioned his arm there to prevent Ismael from landing shots. But Ismael looks very comfortable here.
20 seconds to go here, and Zelada's surviving
Watch
after
the top
taking
of the head,
the
Rick.
biggest hit of the fight. It may have been a strike that could give Zamora the round. We should mention open scoring still in play here is something we broke into our first fight back in March, our first card. We will reach the end of round number 1.
Time!
And in between rounds, and we talked about open scoring, Rodolfo, and it is the prerogative of the corner. They can tell their fighter the score. They can hold that information. We've seen it so many times in fights where sometimes the corners aren't exactly 100% honest about how much time is left, but in order to inspire their fighter.
Yeah, and we're curious to see how that works out tonight, as that was a debut back when we had our first episode of the season. But looking at the replay here, you see Ismael just swinging in, working the body. Remember how he said he likes to work on that liver? Well, he surely did with that left hook. And then we see Zelada having some fun here with the jiu-jitsu game. But towards the end of the round, he gets clocked, and Zelada goes down to the ground. Ismael working on some ground game, and now sets us up for the second chapter of this bout.
We are getting ready for round 2, and just a reminder about all the extra cameras, including on the referee, to give you unparalleled access inside the jaula. The aerial camera as well. You will not miss a beat. We haven't seen the open scoring. I would imagine Zamora got the edge, although there was some good ground control as Zelada goes for the single leg.
Yeah, that knockdown gave it to Ismael in that first round as we await the scores. And I just love to see the corner's reaction, when they get these scores, because we had this conversation last time. Do they relay the message to the fighter in that second round? We can see here heel hook, looking at that leg. That's where Zelada wants. Well, let this Ismael now.
Oh, he's got the heel.
Be careful. Drop out of that very safely. Now Rick and top working the guard.
Here's those elbows, you got to be careful. Then an open hand slap on the ear. Zelada's very uncomfortable, and he is really fighting to protect his unbeaten record. Zamora came to fight another big elbow and then followed up by the forearm.
He started it. We're going to get the score just here in 2 seconds. Should be. And there it is, Max. Ismael.
Yep, as we expected.
Working, Rick.
As expected. And I'm curious to see if maybe one of these corners would I mean, it's very early in the fight. It's only the first round.
Oh, he tapped out. We don't have to see it. Zelada taps out, and Ismael Zamora with a massive performance. Eye-opening, dominant. He won the first round, and he finishes it via submission. in round number 2.
Impressive. He was searching for it earlier on in the second round. Now he was able to capitalize on it and won this bout. And mind you, he took on a guy whose strong base is jiu-jitsu.
And it's an all-female card here when we get to the main event. The one male fight was this, and I know we spoke to Campbell McLaren. We talked about Kraken Zamora on this fight, and he had a big smile. He says, I love Kraken. Now we see why.
There it is, Zelada going in for that single leg takedown, but it did not favor him as Ismael capitalized on it, grabbing the leg, and there is a submission. Rick Zelada had no shot at this. As you can see, he ends up almost tapping here.
He went to the well a couple times. That was
there
it.
It is. That's the armbar. That was an armbar. It was so fast. We were talking about the open scoring, and then boom.
That was really
armbar.
impressive.
Really quickly.
Went for the heel, got the arm. Kraken Zamora, he has his own business now. He repairs vehicles. He started MMA at age 16, and now he has something to set as a platform. Truly impressive from the fighter from Mexico City as we await the official decision going back inside the jaula to Lupe Contreras. We'll get it all for you next.
La esquina roja aplica una barra de brazo obligando a su rival a darse por vencido con un tiempo oficial de 1 minuto 28 segundos del segundo episodio. The red corner sinks in an armbar, forcing his opponent to tap with an official time of 1 minute 28 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by way of submission, el vencedor por sumisión, el Kraken, Ismael Zamora.
Now 2-1, just like Zelada is. And again, this was in that very competitive 135-pound bantamweight division, of which now Ismael Zamora is moving up the charts and may be able to call out a fight or two that he can get back inside the jaula probably sooner than later. He looks fresh as a daisy. Much more Combate coming your way. Here in Miami, the Intercoastal, so much happening in the city, including Combate Global. I mean, what's the boat show? Is it the Ultra Music Festival? One thing after the other, it's just happening. It's that kind of city.
Formula One very soon.
Formula One, I mean, any event, including the fights. Andrea, Amaro, Carolynn, Cordoba. Amaro will be representing the United States, fighting out of El Paso. Cordoba fighting out of Mexico City, and that fight is ready to get started right now. We talk about fighters starting to get into it. These two ladies are there. Back to Lupe.
Entrando a la jaula, Andrea Amaro.
This is truly an incredible story. Andrea Amaro, we have seen her here in Combate a couple times in 2021. She overcame being homeless. She was in an abusive relationship. She also has an autoimmune disease that she was diagnosed with a year ago. You talk about a lot piled on her shoulders. She lost her father last year, and always trying to maintain clarity, dealing with mental health, and MMA is a big reason she is able to do that.
And also, you have to remember she's studying forensic psychology as we speak. But one thing that I'm impressed about this girl, and I had a conversation with her right after this fight, she's going to go run a marathon, she says.
That's crazy. An avid long distance runner. She actually was trying to break a Guinness Book of World Records in running. We'll give you the details. But in the meantime, we'll get you ready for her opponent next.
Su rival, Carolynn, Cordoba Hinojosa.
Ramstein? Or something like that?
It's very Ramstein-y.
Kind of like that. I don't think so.
It's not. Anyway, Carolynn Cordoba, she was supposed to make her Combate Global debut last year. Some issues came up, so she had to push it back.
Very excited to see this young lady here making her debut. Trains with the Tactical Fight Academy. As she makes it, it's such a interesting thing as you come in. You're making your La Jaula debut on a big stage. This is only your second bout here as a professional, and doing it on globally. I mean, that is amazing to prepare for that. Such the mental preparation is a big deal.
I'm digging this jam. I gotta
I
find
have
out.
to look this up. Where's Shazam at?
We got a Shazam. Is Shazam still a thing?
I think so.
It should. It's very handy. I haven't used it in a while. Still on my iPhone. I'll tell you that. As we go to head-to-head, Cordoba. This is it. Beginning her Combate career at 21. We saw Andrea Amaro fight the very talented Melissa Maya back in November. Melissa Maya is moving straight to the top of this division. Amaro's 27, 4-inch height advantage for Cordoba, 2.5 via the reach. We are in the strawweight division. Let's get ready for the fight. Lupe Contreras.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. 3 vueltas, división peso paja. We continue with much more action. 3 rounds. In the strawweight division, los jueces son, the judges are Héctor Gómez, Ricardo Celis y Byron Sellers. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, vestida de rojo, introducing the blue corner, wearing red, su peso oficial, 115 libras y media, her official weight, 115.5 pounds. Entra por tercera vez a la jaula con una victoria y 2 derrotas. With 3 pro bouts, she has a record of 1 victory against 2 losses. Representando a El Paso, Texas, Andrea Piggy Amaro. Su oponente en la esquina roja, vestida de azul, her opponent in the red corner wearing blue, su peso oficial, 115 libras y media, she weighed in at an identical 115.5 pounds. Entra a la jaula en busca de su primer victoria con récord de 1 derrota tonight. She enters la jaula in search of her first pro victory with a record of 1 defeat. De la capital azteca, la Ciudad de México, DF, Carolynn Cordoba Hinojosa. El referee, Marcos Pérez.
Marcos Perez, we like to welcome into the Combate family. Be the third inside the jaula for this one.
Ok, ya saben las reglas. Quiero una pelea limpia. Síganme instrucciones, ok. Si quieren choquen guantes.
Asking for a clean fight. Gotta be nerve-wracking for these 2 fighters. Knowing what a win could do and what a loss can sidetrack.
Yeah, anticipate Andrea to come in right from the get-go, the aggressive fighter of the 2. She's going to push the pace just as soon as she sends in that first strike or 2. Carolynn needs to move around a bit. She does have a black belt in kickboxing.
Just to finish the story, we talked about the Guinness World Record for running. She attempted to run the most virtual half marathons done in 1 month. The record was 13. She broke it with 15, but it was not recorded due to some complications. You know those folks at Guinness rule with an iron fist.
Those guys are for real.
They are for real.
Yeah, no,
I mean, you got to document everything. So 15 half marathons and it didn't count.
Yeah, and there it is, Max, as we saw. You see Andrea pushing the pace. She just wanted to feel it out. The good opportunity. Carolynn with an overhand right.
Big kick to the,
nice
the
low
waistline.
Kick. Another low kick from Andrea.
Side of the leg. We know the fitness is going to be there for Amaro in red, representing the USA. The fighting, the craft, everything's got to be there. But if it goes into the deep end of the pool, she will have the lungs.
She will definitely have all the gas in the tank. Carolynn attempted a Superman punch very early on, but did not finish it.
Oh,
there's the hand.
Again, Costa can't defend herself.
Look for Andrea's right hand.
Another straight right.
Look how she's picking her apart. She does that 1-2 combination, really laying in all that force with her right hand. She changed levels. She worked on the body now, but now she's going to go straight down to the ground.
In the side guard. This is a dominant 90 seconds. And what a tremendous performance thus far by Amaro. Shot out of a cannon. We saw her in that fight back in November. Melissa Maya is right now the gold standard in this division, so losing to her, not bad business whatsoever, but she's looking to fix that very quickly.
Carolynn's in trouble. She might give her back away. She doesn't want to do that.
3 minutes left, and now she's got the back. Slipping away. Cordoba's got to get her arm out of there.
This is a place you do not want to be. Carolynn, look at that arm. It's for Amaro all day. And look, triangle, actually.
Oh, triangle. Oh, lots of blood coming from Cordoba. What has she got to do here to get out of here?
Oh, boy. Well, right now she has to use that hip, but right now the arm.
There's an illegal elbow there, but they fight on. Cordoba's trying to turtle up.
She's doing the right stuff by turning around, but hopefully it slipped that arm. But it's very difficult. Andrea has that tight grip with her legs, and look at the cut, Axe.
Oh, it's gnarly.
I don't know where it's coming from, but the referee may step in to stop to check that cut.
It's coming from Cordoba. They do want to check it. She's got a 2-for-1 here. She could have an arm bar.
It's over. Tap. Holy cow.
Completely outclassed. El Paso, scream for me. Andrea Amaro gets the win in triumphant form.
Great performance from Andrea Amaro. Started strong from the beginning. Really impressive stuff. Amazing. Congratulations to Andrea Amaro. She can happily run that marathon now.
Look at her, barely breathing. This is the fight. Andrea Amaro evens up her record.
And she held on to that, Max, the entire time for a very long period. And as we're getting the referee cam, look at that arm. She had it locked in. It was very difficult. Of course, Carolynn had to turn the hips, turn around, but the cage or the jaula was in the way.
47 segundos del primer asalto, the official time. 2 minutes, 47 seconds of round number 1. La ganadora por nocaut técnico, your winner by way of TKO, Andrea Piggy Amaro.
Good for you. And Campbell inside the jaula. That means he's given the fight his seal of approval, and we will see Amaro again very soon. Back here in Miami, and we're going to have bonus action. Yajaira Cunningham and Ana Palacios, pardon me. Just a quick postscript on that fight. It was judged to be a TKO knockout because of the blood, the cut.
Yeah, it seemed like the referee stepped in, saw too much of that blood, but I mean, surely enough, the submission was there. It seemed like there was a tap, but when they ruled it, it was a TKO. Technical knockout.
Arrancamos con mucha más acción, las reglas oficiales de la jaula. 3 vueltas de 5 minutos, 3 jueces utilizando el sistema de 10 puntos. Este duelo a un peso pactado a 110 libras. This bout at a catch weight of 110 pounds. Los jueces, the judges, Héctor Gómez, John Rupert y James Lázaro. Ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, vestida de color negro, introducing the blue corner, wearing black, su peso oficial 110 libras, her official weight 110 pounds. Entra a la jaula por cuarta vez a nivel profesional, con 2 victorias y 1 derrota. She enters la jaula for the 4th time as a pro, with 2 victories and 1 defeat. Representando a Costa Caribe, Nicaragua, and fighting out of Miami, Florida, la Pantera Negra, Yajaira Cunningham. Su contrario en la esquina roja, vestida de blanco, her opponent in the red corner, wearing white, su peso oficial 108 libras y media, her official weight 108 and 1/2 pounds. En su séptimo combate a nivel profesional, con 4 victorias, 1 derrota y 1 empate in her 7th pro bout, with 4 victories, 1 defeat and 1 draw. De la capital azteca, la Ciudad de México, DF, Ana la Guerrera Palacios. El referee, Alan Abeles.
I gave you the instructions in the locker room. Fight fair, fight hard. If you want to touch them up, go ahead. Come out fight.
Alan Abeles, the 3rd inside the jaula. Ana la Guerrera Palacios. Yajaira Pantera Negra Cunningham.
Fighter, you ready?
Nicaragua.
Fighter, you ready?
Palacios,
Fight!
Mexico.
Yeah, Cunningham has trains with the MMA Masters, home to the Colby Covingtons, the Danny Chavez. Danny Chavez actually is right there next to the jaula, cornering Yajaira. Then Ana Palacios has a blue belt in Galvin Combat System, a system developed by the Bone Breakers MMA Academy. We've seen many of these fighters compete inside La Jaula. Look for Cunningham's quick foot movement. They train a lot of this capoeira footwork. But there was a low kick there, very low kick that kind of threw off Cunningham just a bit. Ana Palacios, good hands, studied electrical engineer, and a fan of superheroes. How many fighters do we have that they're big fans of anime and superheroes? Many of them.
Anime through the roof. And I mean, how many superheroes? We got to be a little more specific.
Yeah, she didn't share too much. But.
I am a fan of a superhero that they've yet to make a movie about.
Who's that?
Submariner.
Submariner.
He was like the
submarine guy, I guess?
Yeah, he's like the Aquaman, but
okay.
not of I think, what is it, Marvel or the DC version.
Oh, the DC. They'll get there.
They'll get there. Everyone's gonna get a movie. Oh, big right for Cunningham. Palacios is down. She put everything behind that one. By the way, this fight is from our Classics archive, part of our female fight night. We'll get to the main card here shortly at the top of the hour.
Have a long archive there in the Paramount Plus.
Pretty cool.
Great takedown. Side control now by Cunningham. Trying to make her way to half guard.
Palacios off from her back.
Anna has that left arm around Cunningham. Can't really do much with it. You see how Cunningham is laying.
Yajaira, you gotta work. Don't just lay there. You gotta work.
To prevent Palacios from doing anything.
You gotta escape and improve and strike.
And LaBelle is telling her do something. Or not gonna get this fight that back to the feet.
Yeah, Cunningham was getting a little passive there, just lying on top of Palacios. You've got to be active, and while
don't grab her glove, Anna. Don't grab her glove.
Getting her wind back.
Cunningham should take advantage. Her face is right open to lay some shots with that left hand, and she could actually use the La Jaula as a backdrop to just lay him in there.
Let's go. You got to work, Yajaira. You got to pass her guard.
Palacios
you got to
soften her up.
This is a 110-pound catch weight. Palacios came in at 108. She is a small fighter, and she will generally be the smaller lady in there, and certainly is the case here against the statuesque Yajaira Cunningham. Well documented about Cunningham and the injury she suffered, where she was told she not only wouldn't fight, but perhaps would never walk again. And they'll break her up.
Stop.
Broke her neck training. I remember one guy who broke his neck and came back and actually won the Olympic medal, and that's Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, what a career, not only in combat sports, but sports entertainment.
Both these women now right on their feet. Right where it started. Cunningham calculating where she's going to strike. Palacios once again with an inside kick.
Oh, and upstairs now.
Cunningham, though, did have her elbows right to the mid area of her body, blocking that kick.
Flying with that right hand.
And Max, many people think that when you kick and they have that elbow near the rib area, and if you kick it the wrong way, you hit more like that soft tissue of your foot, and it hurts like heck. And it could really break down your game in the fight. You could injure yourself because you're hitting that elbow.
Now curling up is Palacios. She's remained mostly on the ground. She might have something there, trying to get that arm extended for Cunningham, and she's got that right knee in there to get some separation.
It's a very difficult position from here to obtain something, but Cunningham getting out of that position that could have potentially put her in much danger if she would have stayed there. Now Palacios straight down to her feet.
Palacios got to get going here. 20 seconds to go here in this opening round. Came over the top of the right hand. Cunningham was ready.
Palacios swung for the fences. Cunningham put that foot in
10
between
seconds,
to prevent
10
Palacios
seconds.
from moving. We're going to finish off the second round and head to the third and final chapter.
Time.
And there we go, 1 round under the books. Yajaira Cunningham having a nice opening shot there. And she was able to do some damage stand-up. She got to the ground but wasn't able to be as effective. She had that one big shot early on.
Yeah, and she lost her footing there. It seemed like it was more like a low kick to the calf carrier, but she lost her footing. Then it went straight down to the floor. Ana Palacios feeling it up, but she got clocked with that right hand straight. Took Palacios to the canvas. Cunningham now working that Yajaira double leg takedown.
Seconds out! Coach, out.
Second round, Ana Palacios La Guerrera in white. Second best in that first round.
Second round here of action. Look for Cunningham once again to capitalize on the right hand, and as she did, there it was.
Better.
Great right hand from Cunningham. She's gonna set it up with the left with a jab. Now, the thing is she's throwing in that 1-2 combination with the jab and the right, but capitalize it, follow up. That's when you see some fighters, they'll do damage and they stop instead of continuing to damage the opponent.
Good for Yajaira Cunningham, but has to keep the momentum going.
Great action from both these ladies. You can see the corner of Cunningham telling her, when you throw, go in and out with the footwork. Because you'll see, Max, Cunningham will throw in the jab, the straight, move around a little bit, but then just continue with it. Not just land, stop. Be more persistent, more offensive.
Short right. Palacios has not got going at all. And now she does. Tosses Yajaira Cunningham, gets into some side control. Cunningham with her back on the mat.
Yeah, Cunningham attempted to take Palacios, but it backfired. And she was the one who ended up on the back.
Get your toes out of the cage, Yajaira. Toes out of the cage.
Yeah, Cunningham has those toes right in the jaula. It's very evident. Alana Palace giving
Watch the back of the head, Anna. Watch the back of the head.
Cunningham needs to get out of that position. She was about to give the back. A very difficult position for any
Get your
fighter
toes
to
out of
be
the
when
cage,
you're on the
Yajaira.
floor.
Toes out.
And there's
Now Palacios into that side control. Now she can drop some elbows.
Max, there's such a great technique in how you can use the jaula to your benefit. Of course, you can grab it with your toes or with your hands, but in practice, you train, how to use psychologically the cage.
Get out of there, Yajaira.
Cunningham is in trouble here. Palacios searching for a rear naked choke. Look how she has her hand.
Very nice. What a turn of events here.
It's a different ball game from what we started, where Cunningham had a very strong offensive game with her hands, but now she seems in very deep trouble here on the ground.
And now
Ana
maybe
Palacios
getting that arm underneath the chin. Alana Palacios takes a look.
She would have had the rear naked choke, but Cunningham using the hip to prevent it. As you see, she's turning to the side, not allowing Palacios to really sink in that arm.
Yajaira, get out of there. You got to get out of there.
Big fist. Got locked in with the triangle. A warning for Cunningham, but she's got some bigger issues, and that's Palacios on her back, looking to finish the fight here with 1:30 to go in round 2.
Great control from Palacios, just not letting Cunningham
Watch the back of the
get
head,
out at
Anna.
all. Here Palacios could turn somehow. If she could spread her hips out to break that hold, she can land in the guillotine.
Again, can't get through the legs.
She can't get through.
Gonna go for the mount, but Yajaira Cunningham wise to not let her in.
Palacios landing in those hammer fists.
A minute to go here in round 2.
And they might not come with full force, but trust me, Max, they do damage.
Maybe something for Cunningham with an arm bar, but Palacios is very wise to what she's doing.
Maybe perhaps a slam from Palacios. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't waste my energy on it, but it's there for the taking. We've seen a couple of slam knockouts in mixed martial arts.
By the way, just going to remind everyone, we do have our little cafecito cheers, and that Rodolfo is putting it down right now. What's that, 3?
I forgot last count.
Rear naked, perhaps not a lot of time, but Palacios has turned the momentum here in round 2.
Let's go, Yajaira, get out
There it is.
of
Look at Palacios searching for the rear naked. She's just hungry for that rear naked choke. Cunningham could be in trouble, Max.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Palacios could end it.
Cunningham's out.
Cunningham very smart. Putting her chin down, preventing Palacios from sinking in the rear naked. Last round coming up next.
A tale of 2 rounds. Cunningham with the better first round, and it was one-way traffic in round 2 in favor of Ana Palacios. And now it all comes down to the 3rd round. Not to anticipate what the judges are thinking, but everything to fight for in this 3rd and final.
Ana Palacios controlled everything in this second chapter of the fight, preventing Cunningham really from doing anything. See how Cunningham attempted to go for the takedown, but it backfired. Ana Palacios took advantage, and she was just searching for some submission, whether it be a guillotine or a rear naked choke or an armbar. She couldn't finish it, but it's almost there.
Out.
She just has to reroute her GPS, and it might take her to that submission that she wants.
Last round, touch him up. Come out, touch him
Palacios,
up.
a little sweaty, the hair is a little messed up, but she looks good to go. Look at that, the bounce of the feet. Round 3.
You mentioned that bouncing of the feet, Max, and some coaches will tell you don't do that, don't bounce around.
On the toes.
Yeah, you lose your footing. One martial art that's notorious for the bouncing is the Taekwondo. They love to do the bouncing.
Boxing too, I mean, which is part of it, but
sure, but for the most part, the footing is stable. You don't see much of it. Maybe it's just kind of to move around. You see it more with the lightweights. You won't see more often of the heavyweights. But, you know, to each his preference. Each fighter has their preference. But when you bounce around sometimes, you have that chance of losing your balance when you're throwing. You really have to have that foot stable down into the canvas.
Feet on terra firma for these fighters. Sometimes you get the feeling maybe for Palacios just to show her opponent that she's still got
that
active legs.
Yeah. And yes, that's what I was trying to say was that fighters will do it just kind of to, it's more like a psychological, a mental game to say, hey, dude, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here.
Palacios gets the back.
Palacios using the howler. She had the shot here. She could use that shoulder to hit Cunningham. Notoriously known by the notorious Conor McGregor. Just to do that, but that's that opportunity right there. Landing some shots. Got some clinch time. Got the wizard. Cunningham.
Getting in that clinch, getting right underneath
You got to do something or I'll separate you. You got to do something.
He always has a pretty short fuse with activity. He wants action, which we certainly applaud. Now like spinning like a top. Maybe Kimura.
Cunningham not letting go of that arm, but Palacios, she knows better. Now she has the position here where she could perhaps land that rear naked that she wanted in that second round. She has, seems from this position, I think she has like a figure 4.
Palacios making some inroads, getting further up that back, trying to get those arms down for Cunningham, but she's locked in on that triangle on the waist.
There it is. She's trying to search for it. She tried to get that figure 4 on Cunningham, but Cunningham postured herself up to prevent Palacios from wrapping it around. But Palacios fighting for that submission. She just can't get it down packed. Palacios landing
Watch the back of the head, Anna. Watch the back of the head.
Turning around, there it is. Maybe now she has that opportunity. She's had many, many opportunities for guillotines, kimuras, rear naked chokes. All so close.
Back in and at.
But nothing yet.
Maybe another warning from Alan Abel as a minute 40 to go here in the final round. Palacios has been really good in this last 2 rounds, but just hasn't had enough to put Cunningham in real peril.
Get your hips out. Get your hips out to the left side. To the left side.
Cunningham.
To the left side. Now turn.
At this point, what we've seen so far in these last 2 rounds, Max, is just Cunningham surviving because Palacios has held this fight. She's the one basically controlling the fight and the round. Here's another potential single leg takedown.
Great balance from Cunningham.
Yeah, Palacios, all she has to do is get that left foot, trip her down. And she'll have Cunningham right back on the floor, allowing her to get another shot at a submission.
Still there, under a minute to go here. Will it go the distance? Everything to fight for still in round 3. Both fighters have to be aware of that.
The clinch too, Max, is such a separate, it's its own thing.
Watch your head,
there's so
Anna,
much
watch
training
your
with
head.
a clinch. Over and over, how you turn, how you put in the hooks, the grabbing of
All
the
right,
neck
stop,
behind,
stop.
the chances of where to land the knees.
Fuck.
Well, a grandstand finish now, 30 seconds.
Now Cunningham, this is where she likes the fight to go on her feet.
Oh, good shorthand. You can hear the corner saying, go for broke.
And you have to, but see, Palacios felt very comfortable with that takedown. That's where she's gonna go. She's gonna go to the clinch. Cunningham!
Takedown for Cunningham, big
10
time.
seconds.
She has 10 seconds.
Go for broke, go for haymakers.
That's
the
it.
Cunningham corner.
You have to finish it.
Tie.
It's up to the judges now.
Very close fight. As we get to see Miami Beach. Our backdrop for Combate Global all year.
Nice scenery there. That's Collins Avenue.
Rodolfo Roman gets to call this city home. I get to visit a little bit, see my folks. Always time well spent. Tulupe Contreras for the official decision.
Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, los jueces entregan tarjetas idénticas de 29 a 28. After 3 rounds of much more action, the judges turn in identical scores of 29 to 28. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Todos a favor de la ganadora por decisión unánime. De México, la guerrera, Ana Palacios.
Just outworked Cunningham in those last 2 rounds, and that was the difference.
It was all Ana Palacios, and I'm sure we're going to see the replay here, but she held the hands on the wheel. She controlled the entire fight. She couldn't get the submission. That's something I'm sure she's going to look back at the tape and said, man, it was there, and it was there, and it was there.
We are getting ready for our main event. 3 fights, all female fighters, all looking to take a step up, including the 18-year-olds, Irlanda Galindo. We're gonna have some fireworks and we're gonna have some dreams fulfilled and some deferred. Claudia Diaz in the main event, a Muay Thai MMA explosion. There is what lies ahead. Blanca Marquez, Flor Chavez, Irlanda Galindo, Ann Summers, and Claudia Diaz, Manuela Marconetto. So many great memories there and so many memories to make, including tonight. 3 big fights coming your way on our main card. The fighting females, all looking to set the table for 2022. We join you from Miami. Freedom Tower there. American Airlines Arena.
FTX.
FTX now is on American Airlines?
Nah,
I
they
apologize. Then again, I'm a Cleveland Cavalier fan, so I keep that
your
under my hat
Staples
as
Center,
well.
all that stuff. Yeah.
It's not Staples anymore.
Oh, no, there you go. You got me. Wasn't it crypto? Wasn't it a crypto? There you go.
Crypto.com. Beautiful new mat here for Combate Global. The elegant Lupe Contreras in the middle. He will be your master of ceremonies to get things started over 3 fights. The first one that's going to be coming out of the traps here, Blanca Marquez and Flor Chavez. They will lead into Irlanda, Galindo, and Anna Summers. Claudia Diaz, Manuela, Marconetto, and Rodolfo was touching on the contrast there between kickboxing and Muay Thai. It's going to be a fascinating matchup. Glad you could join us wherever you are all over the planet. Special hello to the listeners in France and Spain and throughout Europe. My name is Max Bretos, Rodolfo Roman. We're going to get some good fights under our belt. Here they are.
There's the main event, Claudia Diaz from Spain versus Manuela Marconetto representing Italy. Both these ladies come from a very reputable camp. Marconetto, the Great Britain top team. Claudia Diaz trained with a Muay Thai Tiger camp up in Thailand, now is in 4 Ounce in Houston, Texas. She's been training here in the United States. This should be a very fun, exciting main event.
Let's go to the head-to-head. Blanca Marquez, 35, but still very new to this. And she will be facing Flor Chavez, 2-inch height advantage, 1-inch reach advantage for Marquez. This is going to be at a catch weight of 130 pounds. Let's get ready for this one. We're underway on our main card. To Lupe Contreras.
Las reglas oficiales de la jaula, 3 vueltas de 5 minutos, 3 jueces, utilizando el sistema de 10 puntos. Este duelo, a un peso pactado a 130 libras, this bout, at a catch weight of 130 pounds. Los jueces son, the judges are, Richard Green, Héctor Gómez y Ricardo Celis. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, vestida de negro, introducing the blue corner, wearing black. Su peso oficial, 129 libras y 3 cuartos, or official weight, 129 3/4 pounds. Entra por segunda ocasión a la jaula, con récord de una derrota. She enters the jaula for the second time as a pro, with a record of 1 defeat. Repping the DR, and fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Blanca Shotgun Marquez. En la esquina roja, vestida de verde, in the red corner, wearing green, detuvo la báscula a un peso oficial de 128 libras y 3 cuartos. She tipped the scales at an official 128 3/4 pounds. Esta noche se lanza a las grandes ligas de las artes marciales mixtas, debutando dentro de la jaula de Combate Global. Tonight, she makes the leap into the big leagues of MMA, debuting inside of la jaula de la Ciudad de México, DF. Flor Chavez. El referee, Alan Abeles.
All right, I gave you guys the instructions in the locker room. Obey
Alan
my commands
Abeles
at all
III.
times. Protect yourself at all times. You want to touch them up, go ahead. Come out, fight.
We are live in Europe.
Judge.
We are pre-recorded
Judge.
on Paramount
Judge.
Plus. You're getting all the images here from Miami.
Max, I just want to read you here
Fight,
Flor
are you
Chavez's
ready? Fight, are you ready? Fight!
resume here. 14 years old, she started training jiu-jitsu 9 times. Brazilian jiu-jitsu Mexican national champion. But right now, we're not seeing any of the jiu-jitsu. We're going straight to the striking like we like it here inside La Jaula. In fact, that's how she started her career in martial arts. Started with boxing first. But Marquez, second time, she makes her appearance in La Jaula. I see her more confident here, Max. A lot stronger coming in. Blanca Marquez here using that strength in the clinch. She should land some knees here. Good opportunity for that. Chavez positioning herself to rip apart this clinch. There's that knee from Chavez. Marquez has that shot too. Now Chavez using the foot stomp, which I still don't understand. It's obnoxious, but it really doesn't do a lot of damage.
Foot stomp?
Yeah, just
speak for yourself.
It's just stop, man. It's like a mosquito. Now maybe if you do with it, heel of the foot, maybe I'm told.
I don't want anyone stomping on my foot. And you gotta love what Flor Chavez has done. She came out and took this fight by the scruff of the neck, blood coming out of the nose of Marquez.
Busted open very early in the first round. Yeah, Marquez trying to turn. She's trying to turn the clinch around, but she's been doing it for quite some time. Just happened. Chavez looks very confident. I won't be surprised if any minute here she changes levels and goes for the legs and bring down Marquez and go for a submission.
Trying to get a clinch. Chavez with a good center of gravity, and they're just walking along the fence.
If Marquez wants this fight to go her way, she needs to break up this clinch and take this fight to the center of La Jaula. Because Chavez is capitalizing in this. Landing shots. There's just the foot stomps there I was talking about.
The leg.
And a knee inside the leg. Which that will leave a mark tomorrow. Now Marquez is trying to get out of the clinch. She just can't find a way. She has to, Marquez needs to turn. She needs to get out of this. Chavez using all that leg strength to keep Marquez positioned in the jaula. Now, you might see this, Max, and say, well, nothing's happening, but Chavez is damaging Blanca here with the knees. Look at she holds on to the great grip, great elbow from Chavez.
And slipping out, Marquez, a mother of three. Had a back injury last summer, which derailed her career for a moment. Now she's trying to pick up the pieces in 2022, but she has a mighty opponent in front of her in Chavez, who has been on the front foot, big knee into the midsection.
Now Marquez needs to land a knee. The shot is open there for you, but Flor Chavez just has a great clinch work, man. She has a great grip when she grabs it, preventing Marquez from going anywhere. See how she's trying to break the hooks, just can't find a way to get out. Chavez just grabs on there, preventing Marquez from doing anything. You heard in Spanish, Chavez's corner telling her, hey.
Separation by Alex.
She was telling her, if you don't feel comfortable in the second level, go down to the third level, which will be the ground.
That was an odd separation, and Chavez came right back. Alan Abeles allows it. Marquez has been on the defensive for this entire round.
Blanca could throw in a knee. There we go. There's that knee that we were looking for. Work the body. Marquez. You got 30 seconds to go. Perhaps Marquez's game plan is here to speed up the pace in the second or third round. And remember, we still got those open scoring, Max, so I'm sure that now when those results are mentioned, let's see the change of pace here. There it is.
Now they're both swinging. Final few seconds here of round one. Flor Chavez in her first pro fight, looking like she's been there before.
Chavez looks excellent in her debut here. It's like she's been here for like ages. Very confident.
And on the flip side, Marquez was, she got the kitchen sink thrown her way, and she managed.
Sustained herself. Yeah.
She had to be on the defensive there. She is going to succumb that round. There's no doubt about it. But you live to fight to see another day.
Great right hand from Flor Chavez, taking Marquez back, which I think that's the one that busted up her nose. And look how the clinch work. That clinch work is just phenomenal. Not allowing Marquez to go anywhere. It's like a blockade. It's like the traffic in the Palmetto Expressway here in Miami, Florida. You're just stuck there. It's like a parking lot. Chavez working that clinch. Also, she has some inner knees in the inner thighs.
Thank you.
Let's see what type of Marquez we see here in the second round. Let's see if Chavez continues the same game plan. And you saw that she just put her mouthpiece. Hey, listen, it's your first professional debut live on TV. It's gonna happen. You forget your mouthpiece.
Yeah, these nerves. This is a huge spotlight for these fighters. They know what's at stake, and impressing Campbell inside there.
And so
getting
far,
another fight, leading it to 2 more fights.
So far, Max, it's a continuation of what we saw in the first round from Chavez. Striking, go to the clinch. She did an elbow there. It was a quick one.
Fighting out of Las Vegas, Marquez. She loves living there. The training is great. She's able to get first-class training. Says she's going to be a well-rounded fighter after really working hard these last few months.
I'm not sure what the corner of Marquez told her, but if you're seeing a repetition of what happened in that first round, the key is to move, to prevent yourself from getting yourself in this position, the clinch, and there's the open scoring.
And Blanca Marquez has to know she lost that round, so maybe the corner doesn't have to say it. And this is the official scoring. You're looking at it, and that information could be passed on to the fighter or it could be kept. It's up to the corner, but it's available. It's something new that Combate is leading the way in.
And now Marquez, her pair of knees in a clinch. But now Chavez, 2 elbows to Marquez. So far, getting halfway through this second round, and it's been Chavez all the way, full control of the bout. Marquez needs to put.
Yeah, Marquez has to turn the tide here. Has to be the first in. Flor Chavez, it's interesting when we talk about punching and counter punching. Just being there first immediately makes your opponent have to recoil. And that's what Chavez has done.
That's what she's done, and she's capitalizing it. She's not allowing Marquez to do anything. Now Marquez switching the pace. Now she's landing the knees. That was a low blow.
Does not feel good.
She called for it, but the referee didn't do anything. Look at the reaction.
Another low blow.
Look at the reaction from Chavez. She's calling the referee that she got hit in an area that she shouldn't. I'm shocked that Abelis didn't call it or didn't at least ask.
And that applies whether you're a man or a woman. You get hit below there, you're not supposed to. There's supposed to be a stoppage.
It don't matter what gender you are. You're going to feel it, man. Absolutely.
Marquez continues to move to her right, try and loosen the grip of Chavez, and she's got a good hold on it. That said, Chavez has to find a way to get loose, and she just doesn't. Unloading 6-7 strikes.
And notice, Chavez will interchange. She'll exchange with her opponent and then go right back at her happy place, which is the clinch, where she's had much success in this fight. Marquez laying in the shots there as well. Now, this is a good opportunity here to land the knee. There we go. There's a knee. I'm sure Chavez is going to reverse this so she could get the upper hand. You know, one thing I have not seen, Max, and I'm kind of surprised, Chavez going to the floor with such a great resume in jiu-jitsu.
Yes, we have not seen that yet, and that's certainly her game plan coming in. She talked about it, talked about her submission. She says, I like them all. I don't have a favorite.
In that first round, her corner said, if you feel comfortable in the second level, which is where they were in that clinch area, then go to your third, which would be the ground game. But seems like that's where Chavez is very comfortable today. She wants to keep it on the feet. And there's a nice uppercut.
Well, there's not much behind those strikes of Chavez, and now Marquez senses an opening. Couple jabs.
There's nice.
Chavez responds. That little right hand got through.
Chavez's shots are coming in heavy. They might not come in as fast, but they come in heavy.
Marquez pushing. You mentioned Extreme Couture, where Francis Ngannou, Misha Tate trained.
Great school, and named after Extreme Couture, Randy Couture, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and you gotta. And Blanca Marquez is a fighter that makes ends meet. Prior to COVID-19, worked as a waitress as a nightclub, and then trained during the day. Kids are at school. You talk about sacrifices. This is something she wants to do, but all that work's gone into this. Now she's got to show the results.
And all these women, you know, that for their children, their sons, their daughters, it's they're role models. To maintain a family and then compete live on TV, they should feel like I got a superhero as a mom.
Dominican Republic / USA versus Mexico in our opening fight of the main card. All female fights.
Blanca looks very tired of the two here compared to Chavez, breathing in very heavily. She needs to change her game plan if she wants to win that. She did land in some shots in the clinch, but not enough. Working the body, and then Chavez just followed up with knees. And once again, the power was there from Chavez, using all that power from the legs and the grip. Now, you might say that perhaps, or debate, that why she has that good grip is because when you grapple, when you jiu-jitsu, or when you wrestle, you're taught to keep that, maintain that grip when you exchange, when you battle. So it helps you a lot when you're in the clinch.
She's held it in there. She's kept a very narrow approach, and now Blanca Marquez has to know she has to go for it. Cannot get caught in that clinch, and I would imagine Chavez will want to get back into that engagement, but this time maybe show something in that submission.
Yeah, move around. There it is. She's moving around. That's really good. There, see, she's moving the footwork. She's chasing Flor around. Throwing in, but she has to move in close. She went for the feint, but
Chavez back in there. Studied finances at Una DM in Mexico.
Nice teep from Chavez to keep her away. See, now it's a change of pace. Marquez is the one coming in. Chavez realized it, so she used a teep, and now, of course, she's going to go back to the clinch where Chavez feels very comfortable in. All day, Chavez has had a field day with the clinch.
Little wrist control here by Marquez. Got to find something that could work here against Chavez, who...
Blanca should land that knee. It's right open for you.
You gotta work, Blanca. You gotta work.
And Marquez just has not got off her game plan here. And give Chavez a lot of credit for that. Again, in that clinch, separation. Chavez can get a little more pop in those punches.
Yep. And then again, this is just her first fight here in the Hala, but I'm sure when she looks at the tape, those shots need to be a little bit more crisp. Close the guard when she throws. She leaves herself a little bit open. So when she throws it, make sure that she brings back the... Oh, she got clocked with an overhand right.
Oh, and now straight left or straight right after the hook.
Chavez, though, didn't phase her. She's coming back. She's going to go back to the clinch. She doesn't want to trade with Blanca right now. See, right now, this is a good chance for Chavez to switch gears and go to the ground game.
She's been a bulldozer here, just pushing and pushing. It ain't pretty, and I think Alan Abeles realizes that and will separate them.
I mean, good work for Blanca not allowing her to go to the ground because the position wasn't there.
Straight
Chavez
kick.
again. Yeah, that's a teep right there. That's what they call in Muay Thai, a teep, which is used to...
Better from Marquez.
To push your opponent away.
Marquez doing some work now.
Yeah, Marquez found out here she has to go to the striking and go in and go out if she wants to win.
You gotta work, Flor. You gotta work from the clinch.
And we
Now a warning for Flor Chavez.
We haven't heard yet the open scoring. It should be coming very soon. There it is.
Wow, they're on top of it. Wow, they gave it to Marquez, except for one judge, 2018. So Marquez with something to work here if she can win this round.
Yeah.
Bit of a low blow from Chavez after she was on the receiving end of a couple of those. Interesting about Chavez, a lot of these fighters are asked, what do you want to do next if you win here? She called out an opponent, Melissa Amaya, who we saw in our first fight of the year a couple of weeks ago. She says she heard Amaya say she likes to fight the Mexican style. She goes, I'm Mexican, let's go.
Already calling out her debut. So that means she has a lot to prove. She's calling people out.
We've seen it in MMA. You call out people, a lot of time you get what you want. And sometimes you got to be careful what you want.
This is the only sport where you can call people out and not get penalized for it.
Who do you want next? We want the Chargers. Some stats there, and Marquez, it's not as poor as it would seem. The gap is not that vast. Now some very straight punch lines from Chavez again. 1:05 to go in this third round.
Yeah, Marquez's striking is pretty crisp for the most part and improved compared for the first time that we saw her, I would say, but just Chavez.
Oh, good one there, and a best punch of the night right there. glancing right. Marquez left herself open.
And Chavez, they don't come rapid, but when they hit, they strike hard. By the way, kudos to the cut, man, because that blood that Marquez had early in the first round is non-existent.
She just can't get out of the grips of Chavez. Too strong. Better combination, Marquez. Chavez didn't like that.
Great right hand from Chavez.
20 seconds to go.
Oh, the knee.
Changes the levels.
There's the level. A great takedown there from Marquez. Finally, until 18 seconds left.
That might
But this is not good for Marquez. We know the background that Chavez has in jiu-jitsu. He's trying to rip that arm apart.
But a takedown nonetheless. Something to give Marquez some hope as we go to the judges.
But one thing, and I think right now Campbell would appreciate it, is that yes, Chavez does have a very strong background in jiu-jitsu, but she understands where she is, and that's in La Jaula, and they want mucho más acción. They want the stand-up game, and that's what she delivered.
We'll wonder if Campbell goes inside the Jaula after this fight for his seal of approval. Inside the Jaula, your view, we're awaiting the official decision here. Flor Chavez looks pretty confident, but as we saw on the judges' scorecards, there was two of them that gave that round number 2 to Blanca Marquez. So if those same two judges give this third round to Marquez, she's going to leave a winner.
All right, look at Marquez right now. She's ready to go for another round.
I almost saw it. Did we? Is this,
I thought
this
it was
on tape delay?
She's ready
it's
to
all
go.
about optics, is to show those judges. You never know.
Perception is reality, Max. As we await the final result here from the man of La Jaula, Lupe Contreras. There is the man behind.
Back here inside the Jaula, awaiting the official decision. Blanca Marquez threw her arms in the air at the end of round 3, feeling she may have done enough after she was outclassed in the first round, but she lasted the distance.
Great head movement there from Chavez. As you saw, she threw in that 1 and 2 combination, and as quickly as Marquez threw in a jab, she quickly moved her head right to the left, preventing her to get hit. And in the end, and again, I was really surprised we didn't see any ground game, not until about 20 seconds left, or less than 20 seconds left of the fight. We saw the open scores in the second round, but right now there's 1 round left. Maybe that jumping at the end there by Blanca Marquez changed the minds of the judges. We don't know. We're about to find out as the official word from Lupe Contreras in just a few seconds.
It's time. It's going to be tight. Let's find out and go to Lupe Contreras.
Después de completar 3 vueltas, los jueces entregan tarjetas idénticas de 29 a 28 after going on 3 rounds. The judges turn in identical scores of 29 to 28 in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision a favor de la ganadora por decisión unánime. En su debut profesional, Flor Chavez.
So it would appear that all 3 judges gave it to Flor Chavez the third round. It had to be close.
Yeah.
She wins her debut, and what a moment, overcome with emotions and the disappointment etched on the face of Blanca Marquez.
You know, when they announced Flor Chavez's name in the beginning, she almost wanted to burst in tears. And now she's doing it here in happiness as she wins. And look, the man, there he is, Mr. Campbell inside La Jaula. Remember I had mentioned to you that I'm surprised he didn't do jiu-jitsu. I think she heard Campbell right before the fight. I said, we like mucho más acción. We like the striking, and she knows what the Jaula is all about.
And she called out Melissa May. I don't know if she's there just yet and if she wants that smoke, but she put it out there, and that certainly puts ideas in people's heads as she gets to enjoy the moment. 2 more big fights coming your way here on Combate Global. Here in Miami, we're approaching the co-main event here in our female fight extravaganza. We have some big cards coming up, and we'll pass on some information about what is coming up next week here very soon. Max Bretos, Rodolfo Roman, bringing you all the action from inside the jaula. Coming up next, it is the teenager Irlanda Galindo, and she will fight Anna Summers.
Very excited. And by the way, Max, in just a few, we'll be releasing the rankings. That's going to be very exciting. Everybody loves the rankings as where they are and where they stand. That'll be coming up very soon here as we make those announcements.
Thoughts on that last fight? It was Flor Chavez getting a lot of attention from the doctor. She was in tears, but she also looked uncomfortable as that took a toll.
Marquez in the third round laid it on her.
Yeah, and I thought Marquez had a claim to win that third round, and if she did, she would have won the fight. That's how close it was.
It was a close fight, but the clinch, that's the point of this fight, the clinch. Chavez just had the full momentum going in that fight with the clinch work, preventing Marquez from doing anything, especially in that first round. Remember, she busted her open with a right hand. I'm curious to see once again this fight, because when Chavez was throwing in the striking, she left a lot of holes open there that if Marquez would have kept a very close eye on, I mean, the chances there for uppercuts, for hooks, were there. She just needed to capitalize on it.
Still two big fights to put a bow on this card for Combate Global. Claudia Diaz, Manuela Marconetto will be the main event. Very intriguing matchup of styles as Rodolfo got into with kickboxing versus Muay Thai. Who will use the ground game to their benefit?
I think, yeah, that could be the change there in that fight, when you have the kickboxer and the Muay Thai. But again, this is mixed martial arts. In fact, both these ladies, they left their native countries to go train in other countries where they were already practicing mixed martial arts. Because as you know, I mean, let's face it, Max, MMA is still an evolving sport. It's not at the level of a soccer. It's not at the level of a boxing. It's getting there.
Still in diapers.
It's getting there, but it's still in diapers. And Marconetto left to Great Britain to train with the Brad Pickett's of the MMA world. And Claudia Diaz went to Thailand to train with Tiger Muay Thai, home of Valentina Shevchenko. And if you train over there in Thailand, it's such a great experience.
Have you done that?
I have. And I have to tell you that it's a game changer. Men are men, and boys become men, and girls become women. Because they really kick your butt out there.
Yeah, what an incredible export Muay Thai is. What a testament for the wonderful country of Thailand that they have this sport that is celebrated by the globe. Fighters coming from Spain and the United States to get better in that. And it is a skill set that builds a platform for MMA fighters. So many great ones that have an understanding of Muay Thai under their belt.
Yeah, we've seen those videos of the Muay Thai practitioners kicking those trees with their shin to strengthen it. And that's a real thing. That is a real thing. You have to remember, these kids, men and women, they're fighting at 4 years old. And here we have physical education, field day, tug of war. No, these guys are fighting in PE. This is what they do in Thailand. I remember I had my driver. You wouldn't know, but the guy has a strong background in Muay Thai. They all do. This is their soccer in Thailand.
We'll get that to the main event, so some intriguing fights still ahead. Let's get ready. What lies ahead here on Combate Global?
Irlanda Galindo pelea por mi familia, porque ellos son los que siempre me apoyan, ellos son los que siempre están conmigo. Tengo mucho corazón, me apasiona mucho lo que hago, lo hago con amor, lo hago con ganas y creo que eso es lo más importante. Mi carrera amateur me ayudó muchísimo para poder subirme a una jaula concentrada con adrenalina o con miedo, pero con la cabeza fría.
¡Irlanda!
Creo que es muy importante que las mujeres se sepan defender. Doy seminarios de defensa personal para mujeres con mi maestra de Jiu-Jitsu. Creo que después de cada curso las mujeres salen como más seguras y eso a mí me llena bastante. Gané mi debut y perdí una pelea con una rival muy fuerte, pero siento que todo lo que me dejó de aprendizaje mi rival pasada es lo que me va a ayudar ahorita para poder ganar esta pelea.
Training hard there in Mexico City, Irlanda, Galindo. Been a great card already for Mexico City fighters. Flor, Chavez victorious. Ismael cracking Zamora earlier as well in the evening. We are live in Europe, on tape in the United States. We're enjoying Combate Global. Getting ready for our co-main event. Moments ago, we introduced you to Irlanda Galindo. Her opponent, 28-year-old Anna Summers, another Midwest fighter. We have a few of them here on Combate Global and starting to do pretty well. This is a promotion for all comers from all parts of the world. We're ready for it. Let's get going and give you an introduction.
I fight because I am able to challenge myself in a way that I cannot be challenged anywhere else. There's nothing like fighting. There's nothing like getting in a ring in front of thousands of people and putting your heart out there. That's a whole mind game. It's a whole physically, mentally challenging thing that you can't do doing anything else, and that's why I love it. I feel that I'm well versed in every area. Not to take anything away from my opponent, you know, she has the ability to win. She's 1-1, but I do believe that wherever the fight goes, I will be most dominant. May the best woman win.
That is coming up next here. Irlanda Galindo to face Anna Summers, and as Rodolfo touched on, Summers a fighter that hasn't got a lot of in-jaula experience, but always fighting, always in the gym, makes her very dangerous. That's next. Summers hasn't fought since January of 2021. Back in there after a long layoff, 10 years older. Can you imagine that, being 28 and you got 10 years older than your opponent? Galindo's only 4'9" tall, so she would probably fit better at 105, but she is gonna fight at 114. So be it. 2-inch reach advantage for Summers and a healthy advantage via the height. Let's get the particulars. Lupe Contreras.
Continuamos con el duelo coestelar de esta noche a un peso pactado a 114 libras. We continue with our co-featured bout of the evening at a catch weight of 114 pounds. Los jueces son, the judges are Byron Sellers, Richard Green y Héctor Gómez. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, vestida de verde, introducing the blue corner, wearing green, su peso oficial, 114 libras, her official weight, 114 pounds. Con un récord profesional de una victoria y una derrota, she enters la jaula with a pro record of 1 victory against 1 defeat. De la Ciudad de México, DF, Irlanda Galindo. En la esquina opuesta, vestida de azul in the opposite corner, wearing blue, su peso oficial, 108 libras y media, her official weight, 108.5 pounds. Esta noche, entra a la jaula en busca de su primer victoria con récord de una derrota. Tonight, she enters la jaula in search of her first pro victory with a record of 1 defeat. Representing Crestwood, Illinois, the Honey Badger, Anna Summers. El referee, Marcos Pérez.
Marcos Pérez back inside the jaula will be the third.
Okay, so you already went through the rules. Follow my instruction at all time. Keep a clean fight. Touch gloves if you want. Okay, coach your corners.
Here we go.
Anna
Max.
Summers.
You ready? Ready? Fight!
Expect Anna Summers here just right from the top strike with Irlanda. And Irlanda will go ahead and trade as well. But as she did in her debut here, great switch and orthodox fighter in Irlanda. She's quickly switched the stance right from the get-go to throw off Anna.
Kicks to the lead leg. Galindo withdraws.
Oh, flying a knee attempt from Anna
trying
Summers.
to get the underhook.
Oh,
Good
man.
squeeze here for
She
Galindo.
read the memo. Mucho más acción.
Anna Summers has had a lot to deal with. She was diagnosed with lupus nephritis and rheumatoid arthritis. She's in remission, has been for a few years, has to take maintenance drugs. Says it doesn't impact your life, but hard to imagine it doesn't when you have to do that every day. Big knee catching Galindo up top, Galindo a little hesitant in his opening minute. But she's strong, trying to dig in and toss Summers.
Great knee there from Anna Summers. Got a sneak peek there at some of her amateur background. She had about 6 fights. Well over 500. And the striking game, that's where Anna feels very comfortable with. Look, she goes to the low kick.
Last we saw Irlanda Galindo, she had the Queen of Dragons hairstyle. We named her that here and she accepted it. However, as you can see, hairstyles changed, so no longer the nickname Khaleesi. Another big knee.
She clipped her there in the chin. Irlanda took it. Knowing from what we've seen so far from Irlanda, she's gonna switch gears. She's gonna level in and bring it down to the floor any minute now. You'll see here.
And Summers all in the clinch. She said that coming in. That's where she feels most comfortable.
Yep. Anna Summers came to play tonight inside La Jaula. Great knee, yeah.
And that rocked Galindo a little bit. She's able to maintain her feet, though. You can see she has the Queen of Dragons tattoo on her back, so that is still there. And they'll be broken up here.
Anna Summers. This is where she wants to fight. Oh, beautiful windmill kick.
Great opening round. Straight kick into that lead leg. Very active start for Summers.
Those right hands are coming in.
Oh, Galindo's turned it. Galindo's turned it. Firing off punches. A couple of those little question mark kick and drops.
Now Irlanda, this is where she wants it. This is her bread and butter. She needs to watch out. Look at that
got
arm.
Got the arm. Made a mistake there. She's made a mistake.
She says she's okay.
What's she got to do here to make sure she doesn't get stretched?
She needs to pull out that arm as quickly as possible. Position herself out. See how that leg is wrapped around her neck?
Wow,
there
lots of punches loosened up Summers' grip.
There's a grip that broke her apart.
Now into the guard.
Watch out, because she
Rubber
does
guard.
have that. She has, see how she has a triangle there positioned? She has the long legs. She needs to be very careful.
There is some breathing room there, but not much more. It's the armbar attempt again. And that time Galindo shuffled forward to prevent too much more contact.
Irlanda needs to roll to get out of this position. There it is. She's trying to do it right here, but she can't go to the back. She can't go to the back. You don't want to do that.
Lots of time left, and Summers is working on all sorts of submission attempts.
And look at that. Look at that leg right.
Still the triangle's there.
The triangle is there, but look, the leg is right there for Summers as well, Max.
And chance to catch a
look at
breath
Galindo's
here.
head. Yeah, look at Galindo's head.
Back to the arm bar.
There it is. Better quickly pull out. She needs to pull out.
It's tight now. Kimura.
Oh my God!
Oh my goodness!
Jesus Christ!
Summers snapping the arm of Galindo. Oh my! And you could hear it. As we welcome back our entire audience, and you may not see it at the bottom of your screen, Irlanda Galindo has just walked out on her own footing, obviously holding that arm, and to an applause of everyone inside the Jaula, not looking for sympathy or anything like that, knowing now she has to begin the recovery. And fighters always know you can get injured, but you hope you fight, clean bill of health, maybe move on to the next thing. No one expects to have to be in there and fight, spend the night in a hospital, maybe several nights. But that is the nature of this business. And Campbell McLaren going over to Anna Summers, this is a really nice move because Anna Summers is shook too. She has to be.
Of course. No fighter, yes, you're in the fight business. You want to hurt your opponent, but you don't want to permanently take your opponent out. You just want to show how good you are, and Anna knows it.
Damas y caballeros, este combate concluye de forma dramática con un tiempo oficial de 4 minutos, 5 segundos del primer episodio. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout concludes in dramatic fashion with an official time of 4 minutes, 5 seconds with the very first round. Your winner, by way of KO, la ganadora por knockout, the Honey Badger, Anna Summers.
It's official. It takes a little away from her moment. And Campbell McLaren, I would love to hear what he said to her, but you can see Campbell shaking up as well. He took a big exhale, and everyone who's in and around that howler certainly is going to remember this, unfortunately, for all the wrong reasons. And nothing to take away from Anna Summers. We hope to see her again here very soon. Back here inside the Jaula as we prepare for the main event. Everyone's shaken up a bit, but it's time to move on. As they say, the show must go on. And Claudia Diaz wants to put on a show, a Muay Thai master. The Spaniard will face the Italian, Manuela Marconetto. Main event time coming up next. One of the many causeways that connect Miami through Miami Beach. And with a beautiful backdrop, we usher in our main event. Claudia Diaz back inside the Jaula, looking to make things right again after a decision to the very talented Paulina Vargas in the last Latina standing tournament back in August of 2021. Says she learned some lessons, but thought she could have won that fight. Manuela Marconetto, our first look at her here at Combate.
Considero que esta Claudia que viene este viernes es una Claudia 5.0 porque desde que estoy en Estados Unidos me he enfocado totalmente en el juego del MMA y todo, me siento muchísimo más completa que la Claudia que visteis en abril del año pasado.
¡De España!
Los peleadores de mi país se destacan porque venimos con mucha hambre, con muchas ganas, ya que no hemos tenido tantas oportunidades, lo que no ha habido tanta cultura de peleas, pero a día de hoy está creciendo, así que creo que venimos con mucha hambre. Tengo muchísimo respeto por todas mis oponentes siempre. No sé lo que ellas trabajan, pero yo sé lo cuánto yo trabajo, de siempre estar enfocada, siempre estar entrenando, tenga pelea o no tenga pelea, siempre estar entrenando y quererlo más. Yo vengo a ganar, así que vengo con todo y sé que va a ser una buena pelea por parte de las dos y estoy más que lista.
I started practicing MMA about 5 years and a half ago. Honestly, I fell in love with this sport and then I never stopped. I'm mainly focused on MMA because I want to really push forward 150% of myself over this year and see what I can reach. I'm not a jiu-jitsu fighter, I'm not a wrestler, I'm not a striker, but I'm quite well-rounded. I think during the fight, my body will tell what to do. My nickname is the butcher's daughter because my family, so they are real butchers. So from the 5th generation, they are butchers.
Claudia, lo so che sarai pronta per questo fight, ma sarò anch'io pronta, quindi ci vedremo questa sera.
And here is the head-to-head. She has a 1-inch height advantage and a extensive, what's that, 7.5 reach advantage. 4 years the elder of Claudia Diaz, who is now making her third fight here in Combate Global. Spain, Italy, España, Italia. Allora, Lupe Contreras, per favore.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. El duelo estelar de esta noche, 3 vueltas. División peso paja. We continue with much more action. This is the main event, 3 rounds. In the strawweight division, los jueces son, the judges are Ricardo Celis, Byron Sellers y Richard Green. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, vestida de amarillo, introducing the blue corner, wearing yellow, detuvo la báscula a un peso oficial de 115 libras y 3 cuartos. She tipped the scales at an official 115 3/4 pounds, con un récord combinado de 18 victorias, 10 derrotas y un empate, with a combined record of 18 victories against 10 losses and 1 bout even. Representando a la madre patria, Barcelona, España, Claudia, la imparable Diaz. Su contraria en la esquina roja, vestida de negro, her opponent in the red corner, wearing black, detuvo la báscula a un peso oficial de 115 libras y media. She tipped the scales at an official 115 1/2 pounds, with a combined record of 5 victories against 2 losses, con un récord combinado de 5 victorias y 2 derrotas. De Torino, Italia, the Butcher's daughter, Manuela Marconetto. El referee, Alan Abeles.
Alan Abeles, the third inside the jaula. Let's go.
At all times, protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch him up, go ahead. Come out, fight. Judge.
Judge.
Fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready? Fight!
Claudia Diaz with the yellow that is seen in the Spanish flag. Round 1, Muay Thai, kickboxing. Claudia Diaz.
This should be a fun warfare between these women, knowing that their foundation with Claudia Diaz in the Muay Thai and Marconetto with the kickboxing. And I was explaining earlier on, Max, between the two, Muay Thai is a more straightforward of a combat sport. They don't move or dance around a lot. They're more in your face, strike, blow, and they'll right follow up, compared to kickboxing, where you see more of the movement, and sometimes you even see that hop that you see in Taekwondo. It's more based on the boxing, and the kicks are a little bit karate-ish, if you would say. Just break it down just a little bit.
Claudia Diaz, first fight since August. She has changed her training, her prep for Combate as well.
Keep working, Manuela, keep working.
But this is mixed martial arts, and both these ladies have said in their previous interviews that, yeah, those are our backgrounds, but we've evolved. We're mixed martial artists. Claudia left
Keep working
Spain,
in that clinch,
Marconetto left Italy, and they went to other countries to evolve and become mixed martial artists. I was speaking to Manuela, who told me she had her professional debut back in 2017. It was a defeat. She sat back, she said, okay, I'm not ready to do this yet. She made her
big time
re-debut, as she calls it, in 2022, this year in January, and then won. Now she feels like a complete fighter.
She's off to a good start here. Diaz very uncomfortable as the takedown attempt. Diaz has snuffed it out the first time. Centers up into that clinch. Diaz trying to curl around here. So Claudia Diaz lost to Paulina Vargas in August. April, you saw the highlights against Sexy Dulce Garcia. And really, I don't know when we're going to see Sexy Dulce again, or if we, but she looked like she was checked out of this sport because of the beating that she took from Diaz.
And don't take any credit away from Dulce Garcia. She came in with a very nice record, good hands, great striker, and Diaz just pretty much walked all over her. Made it a quick night.
Yep, but Diaz knows that was a long time ago, and now she's looking after a lot of training. And remember, we spoke to Campbell McLaren. She was going to fight again in 2021. Got a real bad case of COVID. One that her temperature bedridden, and it was touch and go there for a little bit.
You got to keep busy.
Now, one thing about
Manuela.
Claudia Diaz coming into this fight, when we saw her against Paulina Vargas, keep in mind that was only a 5-minute fight. That's it.
Correct. It was part of a tournament.
So in that time, she was training here in Miami with the MMA Masters. Now she switched gears. She went down to Houston, training with the 4-ounce Fight Club. Now she feels like she has a full camp. She was able to really take in everything that she can from this camp. In fact, she even said, hey, I feel a little confident in my jiu-jitsu game. I might even look for a guillotine. We might see it here tonight. We asked her previously in our preview show. We haven't seen it yet. Still 1 minute and 40 seconds left of this first round. But I'd like to see some ground. I know Campbell, he'll kill me for it, but why not explore? Why not experiment?
Yes. This has been the clinch the whole time, 3 minutes plus. And Diaz has had her back against the cage. Claudia Diaz, by the way, that fight with that she did lose in that tournament was a split decision.
Yep.
So it was close.
It was very close. And she actually worked some of the wrestling. She took down Vargas in that fight.
Now she's trying to grab there. She's
there
got
it is.
her
Look,
arm
that guillotine.
underneath the neck. Guillotine attempt. Trying to get that leg around.
She's trying to hold on to the
She's up in the air.
choke and then trying to wrap her legs around to bring down Manuela. There it is.
Marquez's got some problems now. Got to put that chin down. Loosens up.
Yeah, Max, that's what Manuela needed to get out of this position. Use a hip, kick down to the clinch. Now, it's open field there for knees. Manuela should go ahead and take that there into her advantage. She tried to go for that leg to bring down Claudia.
Very little striking in this opening round. It's been an engagement. That's it.
And that's why it's mixed martial arts, right?
Another attempt at the guillotine. Little deeper this time. Marconetto starting to buckle.
And now she had the support there of the cage.
Marconetto's in trouble here. She's trying to squeeze out. She might be. She's not quite out yet. She does.
She has to do that. Yeah, she has to push her hips apart.
No toes in the cage from Alanabel. 10 seconds to go. Marconetto hears the clap. Just has to survive as her face turns tomato red. What appears to be an exhausting first round.
Yeah. Manuela looks good though. She looks fresh. But Claudia tried to end this fight very quickly with a guillotine. And that's the beauty of Combate Global. You see these fighters evolve. We've seen some that they have a strong wrestling background and their striking is not there yet, but then next time around they come back and like they're just experts in striking. And we're seeing this action, the replay between Diaz and Marconetto. The clinch work, Marconetto landing in the knees and that right thigh, which will leave a mark tomorrow for Claudia, but Claudia answered back. Some punches there in the clinch.
That was a good squeeze.
Very good.
We are back for round two. A reminder, we have open scoring. That should be pretty interesting, and we'll get those scores here shortly. You could say without question, Claudia Diaz has to be more active. It has to stay off of the cage. Marconetto pursuing again. Right back to where we started from.
A lot of clinching this fight card. We saw it earlier on with Flor Chavez. Now we're seeing it here with the main event. Try to tell there a throw. Marconetto didn't allow her to go to the floor, but more clinching here just as in the first round.
4-fight amateur record, of which he won 3 fights for Marconetto. Now 1-1, as you said. The difference in timing from 2017 to 2020 to pick some fights.
She said it. I am a full mixed martial artist. When I made that debut in 2017, I was not an MMA fighter. I didn't feel like it. Now, 2022, different story. And it tells. Look at the numbers there, Max.
Across the board. And that seems right. Diaz got to be careful. She's in the exact same predicament.
Yeah, Diaz still searching for a submission. See how she's trying to hang on to that attempted guillotine.
the butcher's daughter from Torino. January 2022, a decision victory. Fighting here at strawweight 115 pounds.
Marconetto full control of the clinch.
It's not your Muay Thai clinch, although she has some Muay Thai expertise. This is just getting in those underhooks.
Different type of clinch. Good thing you pointed that out. We saw a lot of the Thai clinching in that earlier fight with Blanca and Chavez. You don't see that in kickboxing. You see a lot of clinching in kickboxing. You don't.
Diaz on the Jaula's cage again, now able to turn. Better here, but can she separate? She does. Big knee.
Yeah, that's right.
Diaz is strong. And it's amazing, and Marconetto's been trying to take her down. She's not going.
She can't. And we saw just a bit of it in that Paulina Vargas fight when she took her opponent to the floor. And Vargas is a good wrestler. And Diaz managed to take her to the floor.
Diaz just peppering away with that left hand. Anything to soften up Marconetto and back her up a little bit. But now we're 2 minutes to go in round 2, and it's the same thing for the Italian. Now Annabella's contemplating maybe separating.
All right, stop.
There it is.
Yeah, and I was just about to say that. Any second now, this fight needs to be taken back to the center of the jaula.
And again, Marconetto the first to punch. Diaz has got to beat her.
There's that Muay Thai kick that I was talking to you about, Max.
Now down into the guard.
Now let's see some of the groundwork from Claudia Diaz. Look as she hands on to that right arm of Marconetto.
This is what she talked about. This is what she was working on, and now she's going to have to show it.
You're on top.
Now she's going to wrap her legs around. She's going to wrap her legs around to get it perhaps a triangle. It's there. She's searching for it. She's searching for it. Marconetto needs to be careful with that arm. She needs to pull it out. Don't give it to her, or you might travel back with a defeat.
You gotta work, Manuela.
Main event here. And a reminder, we'll be back next Friday. Great main event. Landry Ward, Jair Perez. We'll also see Malicious Mikey Reyes, Unbeaten Ivan Titan Tena.
Landry Ward is a stud.
Landry Ward 5-0.
That guy is a stud. If you have not seen any of his previous fights here in Combate, I welcome you.
Comes out with his cowboy hat.
That's
all
right.
business.
Get yourself a daddy soda and enjoy it.
Little wrist control there for a moment, and now Marconetto gets into side control.
Marconetto said, I have good wrestling. I have good grappling as well.
Work, Manuela. Don't just
Marconetto also with some beautiful headgear.
Yeah, that rainbow color, that little rainbow bright.
Woven into her hair. Trying for a Kimura.
Oh, Claudia Diaz. Don't want to give the back.
In a predicament, but 20 seconds to go. Marconetto looks like she's won the first round and the second round.
Max, Marconetto has a good opportunity here to wrap those legs around, maybe even search for a rear naked choke if she can, but the bell's going to ring, not allowing her to do that.
Diaz has to do something different in this third round. Has to.
I anticipated a strike fest. No, we're seeing the complete opposite.
As you can see, Marconetto also representing the United Kingdom on her shirt.
Here it is, Max. Low kick to start off the round from Claudia Diaz. She wanted to trade. Manuela said, nope, let's go back to the clinch. I've been winning this fight so far in this position. A lot of clinch work. Then Alan Abeles took this fight to the center of the cage of La Jaula. And then Manuela now working here from side control.
That's the best Diaz looked. She was throwing, and then it was right before the takedown.
Seconds out. Last round, ladies. Last round. Come touch them up real quick. Come touch them up. Last round. Great job, ladies. Back in your corners.
Max Bretos, Rodolfo Roman here ahead of round 3. What does Claudia Diaz have to do to stem the tide?
Keep the fight in the center of La Jaula. Trade. Or you could go for the submission, but I felt that by her landing in those low kicks and the striking favored Diaz. Hence, that's why Manuela took this fight to the clinch. That's what she's been having much success in this fight.
And we should remind everyone that in that first round, Diaz had a pretty good guillotine attempt.
Towards the end, she did.
So that is something that's worked for her.
Well, she needs to level down. Get out of these hooks. Attempt a double or single leg takedown and take this fight to the floor. There's the ref cam from Alan. And there we go. Play the reach game. Use
Diaz
the teeth.
Diaz was first with the strike. And look at the frustration on Claudia Diaz.
Yeah, she's frustrated.
Yeah.
Right. Of course she's frustrated because she wants to trade. Manuela's not doing it.
But I like what you said about changing levels. She has not done that at all.
She hasn't done it. But Manuela said, like she said, and here's the scoring.
She has to win this round by a knockout or submission. It won't be enough otherwise, unless she gets a 10-8 round. I don't see that on the cards.
Manuela Marconetto just has the full advantage here.
Now Diaz can take some control, but right back into the jaula.
Yeah, see how when Manuela moved, she tried to push her off, and Manuela just came right back to the clinch.
Head in her chin from the Marconetto corner.
Right, and that's the reason why Claudia is where she is. It doesn't allow her to move when you put that head right there between her chin and her shoulder, preventing her from moving. It's almost like that old school lock in the car they used to have. You have the key, remember, you used to hold on to the wheels. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the security?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Diaz comes up, doesn't change the level.
There
Good
we go.
left hand though.
There we go. Now that's what she should. The opening was there for Diaz.
Her body
she wants to fight. She wants to fight.
But
she
it's
wants
working
to
for
trade.
Marconetto. This is working. She's going to win the fight unless something drastic happens here.
If it's working for you, why not, right? But she is. Diaz is attempting to take this fight to trade, to the striking and the kicking.
Digging in, Diaz on top, another separation. And now, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Diaz has to stay in the center.
There we go. Now we're trading. Now we're exchanging. But we're back
in.
again to the clinch.
Maybe
good point there for Diaz. Took advantage.
Putting all the crank on that neck. It's not under yet, but at least she's not got her back on the jaula, giving Marconetto something to think about.
Yeah, and Diaz is putting all that weight on Manuela, so that tires her out. She doesn't have any grip. She doesn't have anything. Manuela does have her chin down, preventing her from locking in that
She's breathing okay.
Yeah.
Don't grab the glove.
But look, she has her legs quickly wrapped, very tightly wrapped around.
Let go of the glove.
And Alan Abel is telling Marconetto to let go of the glove, and they go down. Just another quarter inch or so can get underneath that chin, but Marconetto's still in a good spot.
Yeah, but as there's no action here, Alan is going to stand it up any second now. There's nothing going on here.
And Diaz is cranking, but to no avail. Marconetto's not in a position to be submitted.
She's trying to rip the grip.
Don't grab the glove.
Now she ripped the grip.
And now Marconetto can put her final designs on this fight. Diaz has to get out, maybe with an armbar attempt. Can't make a mistake here if you're the Italian.
Can't. That's the up kick. Look at the up
She's a
kicks.
downed opponent, Claudia. Watch those kicks to the head.
Downed opponent.
That's
There's
right.
a warning from Alan Abellis.
If you have a knee down and you get kicked, that's illegal. That'll be a point out. Claudia cannot afford that. 37 seconds left.
This isn't going to cut it. Diaz in deep trouble here. And Marconetto just leveraging her weight.
Well, there we go. She has to go. She has to go for the haymaker, Max.
And
she lost her footing.
Nothing left. She is spent.
Knee.
Diaz. Frustrating for Diaz. She's going to have to go back to the drawing board. You know the talent is there for the Spaniard, but she just couldn't get her fight going. Marconetto had a strategy, and it worked.
The clinch work.
Marconetto looking fresh.
Magic Fingers is collecting the scorecards.
Claudia Diaz's arm is up, but we saw the scorecards ahead of round 2. And unless something really odd in the scoring here in round 3, Manuela Marconetto is going to win.
I couldn't hear, but I would be curious to know if Diaz's corner told her, hey, by the way, you've lost those 2 rounds. In this 3rd round, you have to go all in. Would love to know if they shared that information to her. So she could, and maybe they did, because in that 3rd round, you saw her frustration that Manuela kept going to the clinch and didn't want to trade, didn't want to exchange. But great performance there for the debut of Manuela Marconetto out of Italy.
Well, several fights didn't go the way we thought they would here tonight. And Manuela Marconetto, and this is Combate Global. It is a global brand, so Italians welcome, just like the Spanish, the French, the Brits.
And as stated, next week, Max, Landry Ward, Jair Perez, main event. The Cowboy bringing in the fire inside La Jaula, undefeated fighter who's now training with Sanford MMA.
Andrea Meneses, also the Spanish product, will be in action. So next week's card, a real quality one.
Landry Ward, a former football player. A lot of football players make that jump from football to mixed martial arts, and they have a...
I've been most famously recently Greg Hardy, who was there at UFC, but no longer with them.
We've seen some basketball players make the jump.
Oh, Herschel
Travis
Walker
Brown.
did it briefly.
Herschel Walker, for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, for a cup of coffee.
Frank Gore, well, no, Frank Gore now is doing bare knuckle.
Hall of Famer Frank Gore. Big time talent in these parts. Coral Gables High School. Highlights from matchup between Marconetto and Diaz. This is what Marconetto did for 3 rounds.
That was the game plan. Clinch, clinch, clinch.
But
Diaz
she took the center of the
exchange.
jaula first to set it up.
Yeah.
Claudia Diaz never got there first.
Yeah, and Claudia did want to explore the jiu-jitsu game. She did. Going in for the guillotine, but just could not capitalize it. Manuela had the great defense. Of course, always keep your chin down. A big mistake for wrestlers. It's very hard for them to learn it, but Manuela, a stand-up fighter with original background of kickboxing, learned it very quickly here to prevent any submission. And the way it looks, Manuela could potentially win this one.
El juez Sellers anotó 30-27. Judge Sellers scores it 30-27. Y los jueces Green y Celis entregan tarjetas idénticas de 29-28. And judges Green and Celis scored about identically at 29-28. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Los tres a favor de la ganadora por decisión unánime. The Butcher's Daughter, Manuela Marconetto.
Interestingly enough, 2 judges gave that 3rd round to Claudia Diaz, but unanimous victory for Manuela Marconetto. And now we ask the question, what is next? But I'll tell you what's next for us. Big time main event at featherweight, Landry Ward to fight Jair Perez of the Perez Fighting Brothers of Monterrey. Mikey Reyes is on the card. Andrea Meneses, Ivan Titan Tena. It's going to be a good one. And that main event, as good as we have seen in many cards.
Get some daddy sodas. You're going to enjoy this one. Ward versus Perez. Ward, a phenomenal fighter. Great stand-up. And Perez, a durable fighter. As we take a look back at some of the action that took place with Chavez and Marquez. Chavez, great debut here in La Jaula for defeat, for a win. And then Irlanda, an unfortunate fight here. She ended up getting injured, but Anna Summers with the win. And to conclude, Max, Diaz, Manuela victorious in her debut in Combate Global.
That'll put a wrap. See you next week.